Embers of tomorrow. The living room is saturated with the scent of burnt wood, the lingering smoke infiltrating my senses. Heat from the humid summer air slides down the chimney, causing the temperature around the fireplace to shift. I sit in front of it, resting my hands against the polished hardwood floors, feeling how the dampness makes them pliable beneath my fingertips. The heat dampens the chill that clings to my skin, mirroring the dampness of the suit I wear, each drop echoing in the silence of the empty home. I tap an absent cadence on the floor until my fingers tire and fall still. Instead, I retrieve a cigarette I'd slipped from my uncle's jacket, flicking my best friend's lighter to spark the tip, letting out a weary breath. Graduation had been a whirlwind, a celebration that felt both grand and utterly hollow. I take a slow drag, letting the smoke curl in the still air, thinking about my uncle walking through the door at any moment, surprise crossing his face when he sees me here alone, graduation cap discarded off to the side and gown in a puddle on the floor, my certificate resting untouched on the counter beside my mother's unopened congratulatory letter. He's at the gathering I left behind. I wear a smile that's hurt in my cheeks, remnants of a night filled with clapping hands and cheers, a sea of familiar faces. It all felt surreal, extravagant even, yet felt incomplete without one essential person. I picture my best friend, Liam, tucking a note into his pocket with the date and time scrawled across it, a soft smile on his face early on in the night. I dreamt of him standing among the crowd. Now, all I feel is emptiness. My chest tightens as I replay the moments when I searched the faces in the throng, hoping to find him, the face that brought me joy and light, waiting for me to meet it in the crowd. I blink away the tears that threaten to spill over. The solitude gnaws at me, reminding me that I'm utterly alone. I take another drag, letting the ash drop into the hearth. I can feel the tears preparing to fall, a storm brewing behind my eyes, but I fight against it, instead pulling my knees closer to my body. If I squint hard enough, I can imagine Liam beside me, offering warmth against the chill that seems to seep into my bones, though I know he is miles away. I've made this bed of isolation for myself. As a child, I often dreamed of a future shared with my family, my brother, my mom, my dad, experiencing the ordinary moments that define us. The gentle sound of laughter, the comfort of arms around me. I can still recall the day my brother and I played in the backyard as dark clouds formed overhead. Before I could voice my worries, my parents silently slipped inside, leaving me with unanswered questions and my brother's dismissive shushing. The letter from my mom arrived on a day heavy with humidity, a weight only compounded by the memory of mosquito bites that came with summer days. I remember trudging to the mailbox, the paper warm like a secret embrace when I picked it up. It was easy to picture her laboring over each word, twinging her fingers as she wrote, pausing only to refresh my father's drink, her silent companion. Liam was at my side that afternoon, silently wishing me well as I stood still by the mailbox. When I turned to walk back to the house, I caught a glimpse of him standing in the window. Panic clawed at my throat, leaving the only remnant of my brother's support lingering in the fresh air. I returned indoors with dread. I couldn't face Liam's concerned look, the weight of expectation versus reality hanging heavily between us. That dream stayed with me, my family reincarnated as they once were, only to erode one by one, leaving me alone in the shadows of my childhood. The morning of graduation, I woke in a haze, buried in the blankets with the familiar warmth of Liam beside me. As I stared into the ceiling, drenched in a cold sweat from the nightmare, tears pushed at my eyes but were quickly swallowed down. I searched for his pulse beneath my fingers, aligning my breath with his steady rhythm until the urgency within me softened. I feared my uncle would be furious when he realized I was missing from home, but the next morning offered only silence, his absence palpable as he stayed at his girlfriend's house instead. I sat there, eyes unfocused, fighting against the barrage of emotions that threatened to topple me. "Are you okay?" Liam asked, his voice steady and soothing. I nodded, horrible at tender honesty, the weight of my grief lost between us. I knew he must have felt my fears in the silence, but he chose not to press. Graduation day arrived, leaving me in a crowd of strangers, my cap and gown heavy upon me. The surge of pride I anticipated was vague, muted by the weight of absence. I tilted my head back, trying to let the celebration fill me as it should. But I couldn't shake the thought of Liam. I had slipped the ticket onto his pillow before leaving without a word, scared of what his answer might be. I raised my gaze to the overcast sky, spotting a bird's silhouette perched above me. It circled, winging toward home, a reminder of connection and camaraderie soon lost. Then the sky fractured, spilling rain like an overfilled pitcher. Thunder rolled above as dark clouds unleashed their burden upon us, drowning the celebration in chaos. I clutched my diploma tightly, glancing back at the stands, searching in vain for him, the panic rising in my chest. But there was no familiar face among the sea of strangers. Someone enters the house with a soft creak of the door. Though I know my uncle may find me in disarray, tears unrestrained, there's a sense of relief that washes over me. I refuse to fight the tide of grief any longer. I hear footsteps that come closer until I feel softness beside me. I take a breath, expecting the harsh reprimand, but feel only warmth. My heart races as I wipe my face, half expecting to see my uncle, but when I turn, it's Liam, his presence grounding me amidst the storm. "Can I have one?" he asks softly, eyes reflecting worry masked with determination. I hand him the cigarette pack, needing to see him, needing to hold on to something stable. His laughter catches me off guard, a light in the oppressive darkness. As we sit side by side, I feel the immediacy of emotion brewing in the space between us, warmth circulating like the smoke curling upward. His fingers brush my neck, a simple gesture, grounding me back to the momentary comfort I crave. "What's got you all dressed up?" I mumble, the brokenness in my voice evident. I need him to acknowledge that he was there, that he saw me standing apart, alone. Thought I'd clean up for the big occasion. "Can't attend graduation in my pajama pants, can I?" His smile breaks through my tension, but I retreat into uncertainty. "If I had known you were coming," I admit quietly, and there's a pause. "I would have been here sooner," he murmurs, his voice a bomb. After an eternity, he speaks again, his words laced with understanding. "You only had to ask." The fear beneath my humanity begins to fester. I can't do this on my own anymore. But the question that surfaces is a fragile whisper, vulnerable yet hopeful. "Will you stay?" His answer is a balm that washes over the wounds left unmet. "Yes." And in that moment, surrounded by the shadows of the past and the warmth of his voice, I feel like maybe, just maybe, I won't have to navigate this journey alone. The weight of Liam's answer unfolds in my chest, the warmth spreading through me like the rays of sun piercing through dreary clouds after a storm. I lean against him, grateful for the comfort his presence provides, afraid to let go. His heartbeat creates a rhythm that soothes the shivers of uncertainty that had plagued me throughout the day. We sit in a suspended moment, the rain outside drumming against the window, blending into a symphony of sound that feels both melancholic and hopeful. I breathe in the scent of damp earth and smoke, both comforting and foreign, and realize that this is the first time I haven't felt utterly alone since everything fell apart. "What do you want to do now?" Liam asks, breaking the silence. His voice is light, a serene counterbalance against the melancholy we've wrapped ourselves in. It pulls me out of the gravity of introspection. I shrug, uncertainty lingering like a shadow. "I don't know. I thought I'd be celebrating, talking to friends, maybe feeling happy or something," I admit, my voice barely above a whisper. "You can still celebrate in your own way," he replies gently. "We'll figure it out together." For a moment, I allow myself to bask in the possibility that tomorrow can be different, that today doesn't have to define everything that came before it. I think of my diploma, how much effort and struggle went into earning it, how it signified something greater than just a piece of paper. It was a testament to survival, to resilience. "Can we go for a walk?" I ask suddenly, surprising myself with the request. The outside world feels distant, but the thought of being engulfed in fresh air, rain or not, awakens something within me. I need to reclaim a part of myself, a piece of the celebration I thought lost. With a nod, Liam grins, and I can see the spark of enthusiasm in his eyes. "Let's." He helps me up from the couch, taking my hand in his as we step through the threshold of our small haven into the damp embrace of the world outside. Air rushes over my skin, heavy with moisture but also liberating. The rain has subsided to a gentle drizzle, encapsulating the world around us in a mist that glistens against the grass beneath our feet. We walk side by side, slipping into a natural rhythm, the silence no longer heavy but filled with unspoken understanding. "I was so scared you wouldn't come," I finally confess, my voice barely rising above the soft patter of rain on leaves. "Why would I ever leave you behind?" "You're my best friend," he says, sincerity lacing every word. "I've always got your back," Nate. The truth in his declaration sends warmth flooding back into my chest, breaking apart the ice that had settled there for so long. I glance sideways at him, his features softened by the twilight, his hair is damp, slightly curling in the moisture. Something stirs within me, a burgeoning sense of hope that we might find our way together. We venture into the nearby park, slippery paths illuminated by the remaining ember warmth of dusk. I stop at a bench, its wood slick and cool, resting as I lean back, letting out a slow breath I didn't realize I was holding. Liam joins me, tilting his head back to watch the overcast sky. "What are you thinking?" he asks, shifting closer. "About how much I still have left to process," I admit. "I thought graduating would just wrap everything up neatly, like tying a bow around a present. But I guess it's just the start of a new chapter, not the end of the story." "Yeah," he agrees thoughtfully. "It's an opening, and it's okay to take your time. You don't have to rush to feel what you feel." A comforting silence envelopes us, and I realize how much I need this, how much I need him. The evening light through the layer of clouds transforms the world into muted shades of blue and gray, the surroundings eerily beautiful. "Let's do something for us," Liam says suddenly, breaking the quiet. "You deserve a celebration, even if it's just the two of us. Graduation should mean more than just a lonely moment in a room. What do you have in mind?" I raise an eyebrow, intrigue piqued at the idea. "Come on," he replies, his eyes twinkling mischievously. "I know this little diner that serves the best milkshakes in town. They have a jukebox and everything perfect for belting out our favorites." I can't help but chuckle at the sudden burst of energy. "You want to sing at a diner? Why not? It's a celebration, after all," he grins, pushing himself off the bench. "Let's go." I follow suit, a spark of excitement igniting my spirit. We walk toward the diner, the rhythmic sound of our footsteps blending with the soft drumming of the rain against the pavement. As we enter the diner, the bright neon signs cast a warm glow, immediately wrapping us in a cocoon of nostalgia. The scent of fried food and sugar wafts towards us, blending into a concoction that feels both inviting and exhilarating. We slide into a booth, and as I scan the familiar space, I realize we've shared so many moments here: laughter, secrets, heartaches. They all echo around us, a comforting reminder of our shared history. "What's your poison?" Liam asks, handing me the menu, a teasing look on his face. "Milkshake, obviously," I reply, flipping open the pages. "But I need fries too. Can't just have sweetness. That would be a crime." Liam laughs, a sound so rich that it fills the empty spaces I didn't know were present. "I'll have what you're having. Fries for everyone." As our orders arrive, we clink our milkshake glasses together, laughter punctuating the air, the familiar comfort settling deep within me. It all feels right, like home. "All right, now for the jukebox," Liam says, sliding out of the booth. He gestures toward the corner where the bright machine stands, filled with tunes waiting to be unleashed. "Only if you're willing to get up there with me," I challenge, feeling daring. "Dare accepted," he grins, marching toward the jukebox. I follow closely behind, heart racing with anticipation. With each song we pick, we take turns on the small stage set up near the jukebox, singing our favorite tunes. The laughter spills over as we make intentional off-pitch notes, the waitresses rolling their eyes good-naturedly each time we earnestly butcher a song. It's the most alive I've felt in ages, dancing and singing our hearts out despite the world being draped in gray just outside those windows. As the night wears on, I catch Liam glancing at me between songs, a warmth radiating in the space where I expected uncertainty. There's something about his gaze, an understanding that deepens the bond we share, something that feels rooted, yet full of possibility. Finally, taking a breath between numbers, I lean over to him, whispering, "Thank you for being here, for everything. I honestly couldn't get through this without you." His expression shifts, sincerity pouring from every inch of him. "You're stronger than you know. Just don't forget, I'll be here every step of the way, no matter what." I nod, feeling more grounded than I have in years. And in that moment, surrounded by the warmth of friendship, the laughter of strangers, and the gentle hum of music, I know that whatever comes next, I wouldn't have to face it alone. Somewhere outside, the rain begins to ease, but inside the diner, the warmth wrapped around us feels like the promise of new tomorrows, each a little brighter than the last.